All them pictures is my sons, but who's the daddy? I graduate with honors. I ball NATO Connor. I did a freestyle, then I got a shout out from Obama.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Miftahul Arifin. I'm from Industrial Engineering third semester in Bina Bangsa of University. I would like to talk about geothermal power plants in Indonesia. Indonesia is one of the countries in the world that has abundant energy resources. Therefore, the types of electricity generation also vary, including electricity generation from renewable energies such as wind, geothermal, solar energy, and biomass. The majority of renewable energy resources are newcomers to the field of electric power generation. Next, I will talk about geothermal power plant. In simple terms, the geothermal power plant is electric power generated from turbines that are driven by geothermal energy. How to use it is by making a wheel that resists the geothermal depth. Then the heat is channeled to the turbine location to drive the turbine. Then I will discuss how to find geothermal resource, as with the search of other mining materials. A survey or exploration is necessary to get to the production stage. The way to obtain geothermal source is by exploration, which must be carried out in several stages. The stages of the exploration survey for geothermal resources are as follows: preliminary survey with interpretation and analysis of aerial photographs and satellite imagery, volcanology studies, geological mapping and geological structures, geochemical survey, geophysical survey, exploration drilling. Then I will discuss geothermal power plant process. Before we continue to discuss the process of generating geothermal power, I will explain about the factors that are usually considered in the construction of a central geothermal power plant. First, has a large heat content or reserve so that it can produce steam for a long period of time, which is around 25 to 30 years. Second, produce a fluid that has an almost neutral power of hydrogen so that the corrosion rate is relatively low, so that production facilities don't corrode quickly. Third, the depth of the reservoir is not very large, usually not more than 300 meters below ground level. The location is not difficult to raise. Next, I will talk about the advantages of geothermal power plants. There are actually many advantages to geothermal power. The advantages of geothermal power provides reliable electric power with generators that take up less space. Renewable and sustainable provides constant base load power, can conserve fossil fuels, provides economic benefits locally, can be set remotely, can reduce pollution from the use of fossil fuels. Then about shortage of geothermal power plants. First, the construction of geothermal power plants requires huge costs, especially on exploitation and drilling. Second, perhaps the biggest drawback of geothermal power is that you don't put geothermal power anywhere you want. You will need the exact location it contains hot rock. After that, not all of these rocks can be drilled because they are too hard. These rocks must also have depth that allows them to be treated. Third, the last disadvantage concerns the potential hazards of geothermal energy. When it is carried out into the soil and which can be mined, this also means that there is a possibility that other substances that are not environmentally friendly could also be evolved. Harmful gases and minerals can seep from underground, and it is very difficult to find ways to safely dispose on the substance into the surrounding environment. Okay, finally, I will tell you about conclusion from the geothermal power plant in Indonesia. Why is geothermal power plant now prioritized in Indonesia? Because the profit aspect is greater, and Indonesia has abundant geothermal wealth. In constructing geothermal power plants, we must meet predetermined requirements, still prioritizing natural preservation and protecting the environment of the surrounding community. In the future, geothermal energy will be of great help to us in many ways. However, we also have to know that not all regions have locations that are used a source of geothermal energy. With more and more energy needs in modern times, there are many benefits that we get by taking advantage of geothermal energy. Okay, thank you very much for listening my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.